What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are feeling good. Hope you guys are feeling a little bit more like Chinese stocks rather than anything U.S. stocks right now. But hope you guys had a great weekend. We got Albert in the house. Good morning to you. We got Amy. Good morning. We got Anna, Andy. Good morning to Bill, Brad, DK, DJ, Joe. We got John in the house. Good morning to Justin. Lenandro. Good morning to you. We got Lauren, Marius, Martina. Good morning. We got Rob, Rock. Rock is in the house. Whoop. What? Good morning to Rock. We got Tim. Good morning, Wendy. Good morning to you as well. All my people out of YouTube land, Leonard, Richard, Clarice, Mustafa. Good morning to Jeff. We got Real Virtual Demand. M Sky the Squadron is in. It makes sense. The market is moving like crazy. The market is moving like crazy. We've got a weird thing going on YouTube where whoever like the first people in, it's like a contest. I kind of like it. I kind of like it. It's like I'm first, but Mustafa claiming he's first, but Clarice commented first, so I don't know. I don't know. I think that goes to Clarice today. But Albert says go Bears. Yeah, not football sense. I mean, we got a KC Eagles rematch for Super Bowl. I kind of want to see the Bills. I kind of want to see Washington. They were fun to watch, but it is what it is. But definitely not the Bears. The Bears are just focusing all their attention into the stock market for today. So we got SPY, little bit of a drop. It is a real, probably a little bit is a understatement, but you got a inside day from Friday. We did hit all-time highs on Friday. This would be a retest gap if you're going candle to candle. They chose violence. Yeah, they did. VIX spiked, but not as much as I was expecting to see. Give it some time. Give it some time, Tim. Yeah, well, I might. It depends. We still got a lot going on. We'll get to that in a second. But we got lots of bulls. So 4 days of bulls being absolutely taken out. Hogs getting slaughtered. But we do have a little bit of retest inside day again. I do think this is a very, very strong gap in a bearish direction. So let's talk about this week. I think we got Jerome Powell. I'm not sure. Somebody let me know what day he's speaking, but I think it's Wednesday. I could be wrong on that. Just somebody double check that for me. But definitely Jerome Powell speaks this week. We've got Tesla reporting earnings. I believe Apple reports earnings. We got Meta reporting earnings. Who am I missing? Microsoft? Do they report earnings? I think as well. Yep. When he's saying, yep, we got Tesla reporting earnings. We got actually Nvidia, maybe not. Hold on, maybe not Nvidia. Are they reporting? No, they got some time. We got some time for Nvidia, so scratch that one. But yeah, the other guys, the other big names, all moving like crazy. So, Tim saying the VIX is low or it's spiking a little bit, but not as much. Yeah, we're not in like if we had a gap down and we're starting to break like 575 and we're looking for that big, we're just back in this chop zone. It's a weird way for us to get there, and there is going to be some extra panic fear. So let's take a little breath. Let's just relax a little bit. The market will do what it does, but we got a big week. All of this stemming off of we had a few things. We had a little controversy, to say the least, with Colombia with Trump. I think for the most part that got solved. I don't think the market's putting too much pressure, but maybe a little foresight of how tariffs might be used, and it kind of worked out pretty decently, I think, for Trump. But we'll see. We'll see if that's a tool that could be used anytime. He pretty much said it would be, right? So he's going to do some good things where it comes out and it does $500 billion into tech and people love it. And then it's the same Trump that you're going to wake up and there's going to be some bad news. I don't think this gap is mostly to that. I think it's more attributed to the deep state, which is not new. That it's an article that came out a month ago that they were working on deep state. That they basically they're taking ChatGPT, reinventing it, or really just taking all the data from ChatGPT because it's open sourced, and just building upon it to make it all cheaper. That's going to affect everything tech-wise, especially anything AI, anything chip related, is getting absolutely beat up today. Yeah, it's a much smaller company, much smaller firm, doing it for a lot cheaper. So maybe it's real, maybe it's not. It's a Chinese company. We just had $500 billion being invested into the US, into AI, building it out. And then China also is just doing it for a lot cheaper. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out. But all of this downward move can be negated if we have really good earnings, outlook's good. You have maybe a couple of these guys coming out and saying uh, the deep state, not really, or Deepseek, not really anything to worry about, and it is what it is. But for now, fear, panic, blood in the streets. So look for a bounce. I got some kind of I think we do get some kind of a mini bounce. But I'm looking for support down at 593.55, 592.59 pre-market. We did get all the way down to like 590 on the SPY. So it took us right into some level of support. So I don't know about the exact open if we're going to bounce or if we come lower. We're about 50-50. I got the next target 598.62, and then again to the low side 592.35. Again, it has been taken out already pre-market, so it is a level that can be taken out again. And then you're looking for like a 582.44. That's a big move. I don't know if we get there today, but I guess the next immediate level 588.48. So let's see what happens. But definitely don't love being bullish quite yet. I do think there's probably some people looking to take some gains if this thing starts to bounce. And again, all of this can be negated by Friday. We'll see how this candle closes for the week, but nothing too crazy. Could we have Pal candle without Pal? It looks that way right now. Yeah, kind of looks that way. That's the Pal candle. I don't know. We've the only thing is we've already put it in. Like we're already at Pal candle. We're below Pal candle actually on the Qs. So I don't know if we got a candle that looks like this because we already did that entire move already. So we'll see. But again, retest gap from Friday. That was a bearish engulfing candle. There was some people coming in short, taking some gains as a SPY at least was hitting all-time highs. This was getting close to it. And you have a whole bunch of bulls absolutely being taken out. Again, I think the reward is probably to the downside, but after this move, you might see a little bounce first. 514.41 is the first spot on the Qs, and I think a major level on Qs, 516.89. We are gapping below the 50, gapping below the 20. We have that 100 EMA sitting at 503.43 with a VPOC sitting right there as well. It's never been retested except for the previous next day. So I think worst case scenario, we'll see, but 504.88 I think is where you have some bulls trying to come in, maybe buying some of this dip before earnings comes in. It might be an opportunity for the bulls, but we'll see. We will see. This is getting good. This is getting good. All right. TLT, let's see. The bond people have been telling us for a long time they don't believe any of the bullish move. And today, today, they're reversing that thought. So again, now you have the market gapping down while the while TLT actually jumps up, and pretty good bullish gap on TLT. Look for resistance somewhere around 88.42. Again, a little bit of a retest that opened, so maybe this one wants to pull back first. And look for 87.94 for some kind of support. But so far, the bond people are thinking maybe this drop is a little unwarranted. They're going all over the place. The crazy part is bond people all over the place a little bit, the market all over the place a little bit, and I think nobody really knows what we're doing up here. Have we not seen a whole bunch of just sideways chop for the last couple weeks? For the most part, we were just at the very high end of that channel. Maybe, maybe. All right, let's take a look at Tesla. Let me know if you guys got. Let's take a look at Nvidia was the first one I saw. Let's see Tesla. Assuming if I missed any others. Let me know if there's any other tickers you guys want to take a look at. I have a few so far. We got Nvidia. This one is a pretty devastating gap. Yep, little bit of head and shoulders on this one. On the daily, so maybe this. It's not picture perfect, but this, maybe this. Lots of selling on Friday. Bearish engulfing candle for covering 2 days. So again, I do think we have some shorts profitable in this one. Where we're opening on this one is horrific, but we got the 200. That's still all the way down to 119.87. The Deepseek is going directly. It would be a direct hit into Nvidia because keep in mind, even like AMD is down today, but AMD has the cheaper solutions. Nvidia's got the premium products. So AMD, in a weird way, like everyone's like, yeah, AMD is getting killed to compared to Nvidia. Nvidia's three steps ahead. Absolutely correct. But with Nvidia, the companies that are buying Nvidia, the Nvidia chips, they're looking for the latest model. They're looking for they need the more advanced model. They're the bigger companies buying Nvidia chips. But what about some of the smaller companies who maybe can just need some kind of AI, need some kind of quicker chips, don't have the exact budget to pay for the Nvidia? That's, I think, where AMD is strategically placing themselves. I don't think they're really trying to compete with Nvidia. I think they're trying to compete in the same space but different market. So I think AMD is actually pretty smart of how they're looking to sell their chips. They don't have the quickest chips, but they have sufficient chips at much lower pricing. So I think the DeepSeek is actually going to affect Nvidia probably a little bit more than AMD. If the whole thing plays out, if the whole thing is real, if China just didn't kind of throw out a news piece just to gain a little bit of market share on some of this, and just in light of the $500 billion investment. Other than that, look for some kind of support. I got right around 124 98. I think I had 124.50 before somewhere. Yep. So looking for about 124.50, somewhere in that zone. Should hold as a little bit of support if we get down there. Otherwise, we had really, really good support that comes from 128.55-ish, somewhere in that zone, 128.47. Somewhere up in this zone was really good support. We gapped above it. We used it as support here, used it as support here, used it as support almost here. And now we're below all that. So I do think if you get the buy the dippers coming in on Nvidia, at least for today, I don't see, and this is a lot of people going bearish end of Friday. I wouldn't be shocked if you get some kind of initial quick drop and then that thing gets bought up, almost high wave candle. But I'd probably be out of this thing by 128.40s, 128.45. Extended targets would take me to 129.19 and then 131.11. But pretty damaging gap. And again, earnings not coming out on these guys for some time, so they're probably going to need to have a press conference or something to boost them up in the meantime. Maybe AMD, I think, reports on the 4th. So maybe if AMD reports good, that's going to help out in Nvidia a little bit. But yeah, I think this one's going to hurt a couple of bulls today. We got Tesla. Fed rate decisions is Wednesday. Yep. We got Tessie. That is opening. We have 395. We've been using that level for a while. We do have a retest gap. One, two, three, four red days in a row. All of these three are just hanging inside this candle where some bulls came in. Um, I think this 395-ish, 396 zone is a good resistance for today. I kind of like Tesla to the short side. If we start breaking this 396, then I'm thinking we get this retest all the way back to like 407.24 for today. And then let's see if there's some weakness that comes in. Otherwise, this 395, I don't like where we're opening. So I think this is a little bit more bearish at open than bullish. That's probably how I'm going to look to play this. But I'd want my stop somewhere above 396 on this trade. Maybe a little bit of a bounce first. Maybe we get some kind of buying into that 396 and then establish some kind of short. Even though this is a retest, I think you're still kind of hanging into some bulls from back here. We closed at some decent, okay, almost supports. Kind of closed right below it. So I think you have some people trapped. If we get back into 406.74, 407, I think those bulls start to kind of clear out. So that's where my real resistance is. But you have a major one from all those days kind of being built up. So I do like Tesla a little bit more to the short side. Targets to the downside, I think your immediate one would take you to about 386 with potential down to like 378 for today. If we start losing that level, 370 and then all the way back to like 352. So quite the distance on this one. Let's get this one a little bit higher, Nvidia a little bit higher. We shall see Coinbase. Crypto also pulling back today too. Let's get some of these lines off. Yeah, but Tessie, I'd like to be a little bit more bearish on. Chinese AI competitor of ChatGPT. Yeah, and we'll pull up Microsoft next. ChatGPT, OpenAI. That's the big one. Coinbase. Coinbase is Also gapping down into again a little bit of support. There might not be as much fear, at least at open, for a lot of these things so far. I think if you're, let's put it this way, I think if you're bearish, right, or if you're in there bullish, you're probably down a lot. And not maybe not so much on Coinbase. Look for support maybe around 282.55. But you're probably down a lot from Friday's close to this, to the point where it might not make sense for you to absolutely panic yet. Where if this market can rebound, if you got some of those shorts locking in some gains, if you're going to get out of some of these names, I think you're probably waiting a little bit. I do think we might have a little, I don't know, little bounce. So some of these names though, like Tesla, that looks awful. I don't know. Otherwise, look for your first support somewhere around I don't know, 283. Looks like 283, 283.38-ish. Somewhere right around there. Should be our first support. I've got resistance not too far away, 289.53. So I'd look to establish positions in either direction off of any of those. It's a tighter range, so maybe a little bit more chop before we actually get some kind of a big move on Coinbase. And let's take a look at MSFT. Rock wants to take a look at DraftKings. We got no surprise. DraftKings Microsoft. Yeah, so this is a direct hit to ChatGPT. Microsoft, OpenAI, they're doing things at their pricing, which might be a little bit higher. Then it sounds like DeepSeek could come in and just do it all for a lot cheaper. That being said, they're just taking all of ChatGPT's info and doing it off of that. So interesting approach. Otherwise, you have some support on Microsoft down here. Again, not a tremendous looking gap. Your 200 EMA, which is going to be an interesting buy spot. Earnings on Wednesday after the bell. So if you're going to get something to negate this, and again, if you like Microsoft, you think they still provide good numbers, they might be one of the first ones we're looking for to comment on DeepSeek as it directly affects them. They have the chance on that conference call. So even if bad earnings come in, but they kind of negate some of the DeepSeek stuff and explain to us why Microsoft OpenAI stuff is better. Maybe we could get that rally still if you're trying to play this for earnings. Maybe not right at open. Maybe if you get some kind of move down to like 417.30, might be worth the attempt to play it bullish for earnings if you liked it anywhere else higher. Otherwise, not great looking gap. Resistance starts to come in 242.26. If you break that, not kind of limited to the upside 426.58. To the downside, you do have a little bit more room. A few levels of support first, so watch this 422.57. If that breaks, I think you got an easy path into 420.68, and then probably pretty decent resistance somewhere around 418.57 all the way down to like 417.30. So those are levels I'm watching a little bit. It might have already moved after hours already a lot. DeepSeek 2 months, 6 million for AI app versus Meta 65. Yeah, Meta's another one getting killed. Let's take a look at MSTR. I'm getting some requests for them. We'll pull up Meta. MSTR retest gap from Friday. Mm, right at that 50. Trading views being a little slow. Yeah, also watch that volatility at open too. Might call some brokers to do some wacky things. I don't know. I don't know to the extent of like COVID for anybody that was trading during those days when brokers were just absolutely be not responding to anything. Really good support. This might be a buy the dip opportunity. And again, not talking long term, not talking any of that, just talking day trade. But you got your support of the 50. You have a good support you're opening really close to, and a really, really good um, retest gap. Resistance, I don't know. You got 343.93 is your first one. If you get a little bit past that, I'd be looking to see if I could hold it to like almost a full on retest, 352.94. But watch this level like an absolute hawk, 393, 339.43-ish. That starts to break. I think you do have more downside to that one. But for right now, I think it holds that support. I think we look to get some kind of a bounce in here. DKNG. Let's see. We've got the Super Bowl teams selected. We got 2 weeks until Super Bowl comes out. You start getting more and more hype in there. So probably a Super Bowl play on this one. For today, though, it is gapping down with the rest of the market. We've already had a pretty fantastic move. Good support. I think I'd let this thing come down a little bit further, see if we get support somewhere around $40. $40.05. So moving averages starting to look like it's going to straighten out a little bit. But let's see if we get a little run up into Super Bowl on that one. For day trade, probably not too much, unless you're going to be buying it small stop off of $40 level, somewhere down there. AAPL, that one's kind of holding, or it was holding. Let's see if it still is. Yep. So Apple, who already was getting beat up, they also have some ties to China, which is interesting. And then you're managing to, uh, I think we were down decently pre-market, still kind of holding that 200. But out of all of them, and again, if Apple's going to show us the way for the rest of the market, they're telling us buy the dip. We're actually, we're not flipping positive, are we? We're very close at some moments, some candles. We are sitting actually positive for the day on Apple. So they're at least they've already retested or started to break through some of those uh resistance that we put in from Friday. So they actually look like they're building a little bit of strength. Again, earnings on this company is this also Wednesday or is this Thursday? This is Thursday after the bell. So Thursday after the bell, we'll find out about Apple. But it is holding that 200 pretty decent. And then resistance on this one up to 223.40. We'll see if that gets taken out. But actually, it's holding up fairly well, all things considered, with the rest of the market. So maybe you have one with a little bit of strength on this. And then obviously the news out of China, all the Chinese stocks are kind of loving it. BABA definitely seeing some signs of some strength. Good candle on Friday, even as the rest of the market was kind of tanking. For today, it is a little bit of a retest, so maybe this one wants to fade and some bulls take their gains. You are opening into a little bit of resistance right now, so anything above, well, we're slightly above it now, but we want to stay above $90.70. That could give us a push into like this 91.74 zone. Baidu, I think, is the almost pure play on Deepseek. I think Deepseek did. Are they publicly traded in China? I don't know. I don't know if they have a ticker. But otherwise, I think Baidu is your direct play to this one, to this news. And that would be also a retest gap. We're gapping above that 100. Still need some of those moving averages to come up, but this would be a retest. 86.46 would be your kind of buy spot if it does retest. If we want to hold here, you are getting into a little bit of resistance all the way up to like 89.61. And then you got resistance up to like $90.68. So we'll see. We got Oracle, we got J&J, ORCL. Yeah, there was a news, $500 billion investment, and today is the news where China could do it for $25. So we'll see. But they are reversing all of that really quickly. Again, down into some support. So if you liked it, again, an investment of I think $100 billion first with potential 400 billion on the way. If you felt like you were missing out on something, this will give some of those bulls a chance to get back into that trade, or if they took profits, get back into the trade. If you really like Oracle long term, if you like that deal, this is where you're kind of thinking maybe. I got resistance at 170.84. Start breaking that. I got one more resistance, 172 roughly, and then maybe you're looking for a gap fill. I don't think this is also island reversal too. If this gap does not fill today, that's an island reversal, and then we probably do see it's a strong one. Strong one, double top. Whew. Yeah, we'll see if this one closes today. I don't know. That's a big task for Oracle. Big task. They're gonna need the DeepSeek news to be revoked today. J&J Healthcare's been looking pretty strong as of recent. And Oracle looks decent in a bullish direction. I would say your target for today, 149.09. Start getting above that. You got stretch targets like 149.78. So not sure how much room it has. You do have that 50 approaching you, slightly above you. That's going to kind of put a little added pressure. You're in a TTM squeeze, so that's good, except for the moving averages are the wrong way, and that's going to cause resistance as opposed to support. Other than that, almost inverted head and shoulders on this one, starting to look decent. Maybe ripe for a decent swing trade. As tech falls, look for some of those other names, maybe even like Coca-Cola, some safety plays. Kjo is definitely not Coca-Cola's ticker. But Coca-Cola, maybe. If there's fear, panic, people aren't, I don't think people are fleeing the market yet, which means rotation just into something a little bit maybe safer, get through the earnings, see what some of these bigger companies in tech are going to say, do, produce, what those earnings look like. If it's all good, they probably see that rotation right back out of Coke into some of those bigger names, bigger tech companies again, and we'll shortly forget about Deepseek, whatever it's called. Today, Timu wins. Yeah, it's Timu's day. Timu's day. All right, let's see what else we got. Ticker 256A. So what that is, 256A. Really good candle so far. hmm it did hit your first resistance, so if you can start breaking back above the 1644, that's probably decent up till like 1665. And then your next target up to like this 1688 looks like a healthy higher lows, higher highs. So it does look bullish, just running into a little bit of resistance right now. Even where we're sitting right now is pulling back into 1635. So if we can start breaking out of that, then I'm looking at those little bit of next resistance, which we already ran into, probably a little bit easier to break this time. So we'll see. But as a pretty big candle for that one so far. Let's see which other ones. AMD, I don't think we covered. But AMD is also obviously pulling back. Again, I think the play, we'll see. They got earnings coming out again on the 4th, I believe. Yep, February 4th. I think the play on these guys, you're into decent support down to 116. I think they're actually positioned pretty well in the marketplace against Nvidia, like we just talked about. I don't know if it's going to reflect on this earnings or not, but strategically, long term, the further this thing comes down, the more and more I like it. I think everyone's just looking at it direct comparison to Nvidia. I don't. I think they're playing a whole different game, to be honest. But you do have good support down to 116.84. We are pretty much below all other support resistance for today, 119.20, 119.10. Maybe get up to like 119.34, but smack in the middle. I think the best play, be patient at open, wait for your trades to come in, map out those trades where you want to take it. Tesla's almost at that 395, so probably a breakdown of this current candle might be a decent short for Tessie if it happens. But let's let the market breathe for a minute or two. Definitely not a full 3 minutes, but a minute or two for sure. And we'll see what happens. Otherwise, that bell is right about to ring. So everybody, YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. You guys are absolutely incredible, and I will.